My name is Ronan, and today we're going to look into the childhood immunisation section of HPM. We're going to break it into three sections: adding in batch numbers and batch control, administering vaccines, and reporting on vaccines. So let's start with adding and managing batch numbers. So we will go through adding in a vaccine from scratch, and then we will go through adding in an additional batch and managing the batches. So to do this, click on Administration, Other Settings, and Vaccines. And as you can see, you have your list of vaccines here. And the vaccine we're going to add today is the PCV vaccine. So down at the bottom, you just click on Add. And the very first, this is the screen for adding the vaccine. So the very first thing we have to do is search for the actual vaccine itself. So we click on this magnifying glass over here. And for this one, we'll type in Prevnar 13. As you can see, there's Prevnar 13. So we just double click on that. And then we want to assign this to an immunization type. So we click on Add here and go down to P, select PCV first, click OK, click on Add again, select PCV second and click OK, click on Add again for a final time and click on PCV third and click OK. The default site, we select the default site. Default method, we say IM. Default dose, we say 0.5 ml. Now, so that's basically it added. So then we go to the actual box of the vaccine and we want to add the batch number now. So we click on Add and we just type in the batch number and we pop in the expiry date as well. So now you can see we click OK on this. Finally, we're finished doing what we need to do. So we click OK on this and then you can see 3 PCV vaccines will appear on this list now. So now once we have added a vaccine here, what we can do is we can now edit one that's already there just to manage the batch numbers. So we'll click into Men B, and then you're not clicking on Add. If you just need to add batch numbers to a vaccine, you don't need to add the vaccine again from scratch. You simply need to click on the actual vaccine itself. So we'll just click Men B here, and you click on Edit. And as you can see, it's all already filled in here, and it has a batch number here. And all you need to do down here is click on Add. And then you pop in the batch number again, and your expiry date, and click OK. And as you can see, that is held there then. So we click OK on this, and that's another batch number added for that immunization. Okay. So then finally, if you want to inactivate a batch number, you click on any vaccine that you have. So we click on this, and again click on Edit, and you do not click on this inactive here. You just highlight the batch number here and click on Deactivate. Once this is done, click OK, and you have deactivated that batch now. It's also worth noting that there are other immunizations here that we actually send down to you. These are immunizations that are submitted electronically, like the influenza and the COVID vaccinations. So you'll be able to tell the difference here. If I click on influenza and click on Edit, not that one, I think it's this one here. Yes. So you'll see that these have a public tick box here. That indicates that these vaccinations were sent to us, the batch numbers were sent to us by the HSE, and we put them into your system automatically. And that's basically it for the first section of our immunization video. So now that we're finished with batch control, we will look at administering vaccines. So the first thing we're going to look at is how to add a vaccination consent letter. This will be a letter template that you will most likely already have added into your system. To add this, let's go into a patient's chart. I'm going to go Test Baby. The chart is loaded up here, and then we just click on Documents and Add Letter. You can see it here, Immunization Consent Letter. Click OK and click see, the immunization letter opens up. It brings in the surgery details, brings in the baby's name, and then you can enter in PPSNs, the mother's name, etc. as you need. So then, once you're happy with the letter and once it's done, you can see it has all the vaccinations there. You can then print this out for it to be signed. So you can click on this button up here and just click on print, and it will print out. And then when you're closing the letter, you X out of it, and then you have the option to save and close, and you click on save and close. Just while we're in the patient's chart here, I just wanted to show something. This will be important later on when you're actually reporting on immunizations. Any babies that you have, I'm sure this is done already. You click on the baby's name, and it'll load up the patient demographics, and you click on the family tab. Make sure the baby is part of the family and the mother is there as a family member. You can add. This is where you can add to families. The reason why this is important is when we're running the monthly vaccine report, the mother's name is taken from the family section. So if this baby isn't added to a family, the mother's name will not come out on the immunization report. So now we're ready to add a vaccine to a patient's chart. As you can see down the bottom right, we have all the recall opportunities here, and then up the top here we have the immunization section. So if we click on the immunization section, it loads up. On the left hand side is all the immunizations that have been given, and on the right hand side is the recall schedule. So you simply highlight the vaccine that you want to issue first, just click on it, and then you click on create from schedule. And once you do this, it populates the immunization type, and then you can select the vaccine. All the various pop-ups appear, and you can pop in a dose 0.5, the site, left anterior deltoid, method, IM. Click OK. Once you're happy with everything here, you click OK. And as you can see, the vaccine is there and has been issued. And you could see here on the right that the 6-in-1 vaccine is now marked as completed in recall opportunities. So now the next thing to do is to add a consultation note into the patient's chart, just to note that vaccines were given. So we click on close here, and then we go over here. Now you have two options. You can actually click on the panel itself, or you can just click on add new. And all you do is type in a summary and detail. And then once you're finished with the note and you're happy, you just click OK. We've got our spell check here. And the note is saved here. And as you can see it in the panel without even having to click in. Now what we'll do is we will add an immunization from a patient's chart where you haven't entered a batch number yet. So again, in the patient's chart, we click in Immunisations, and say we want to give rotavirus, but we haven't added this as a batch. So you highlight rotavirus, click on Create from Schedule, and as you can see, there's no batch number here. So you can actually add the batch in this area. So you click on Add, and then you search for the drug as normal. There it is. We add it to the immunization type. So we just press R. Press R again. And then you don't have to populate any of this, but you can. So IM. And then we add a batch number here. And pop in an expiry date. And click OK. And then we click OK. Then you can see here that all the information is here to select. select this, we get our normal pop-ups, click OK on that, and once we're happy with everything, we click OK. And as you can see, the rotavirus goes down as completed as well. So that completes the administering vaccine section of this video. So now that we have finished administering the vaccines now, we will look into the reporting functions. So in order to get into reports, you just click on the Reports tab and then click on Vaccine. And what will happen is you may have a selection of reports saved here, but the report we're going to be looking at is the monthly childhood vaccine report. So what we do is we click on it and then we click on Edit. And as you can see, it has all the vaccines here. What we want to do is put in a date range for the last month. So we'll go 1st to the 2nd, 2024 to the 30th, to the 29th or 28th of the 2nd, 2024. And then we simply click on Run. We already have selected here that it's going to be the childhood format, so then we click on Run. It'll take a couple of minutes to run, and then straight away you can see there's the vaccines that were given in the last month, all the details, and also as you can see it's brought in the mother's name and the mother's date of birth. That goes back to what we were discussing earlier, that this baby was a member of the mother's family, and that's important from this point of view. So then once you do this report, you can print it off or print it to PDF if you want. You can actually print it to PDF and save it as a PDF and send it off, or you can print it off and send it off in the post. So that's the reporting section. So what we'll do now is one last thing I wanted to show in Helix Practice Manager is in the tasks section. So if we cancel here and then we click on tasks and then we click on recall opportunities. This is another method of finding anyone who's overdue or due a vaccine, people who have had a vaccine in a certain date range, and also people who have refused. So the first thing you can select here is the recall type. So we click on this, and we'll click on 6-in-1 first, and we click on search. As you can see, Ronan test is overdue a vaccine. Okay. We can also select completed and hit search, and there's nothing completed there. Okay, for that particular date range. So this is also handy for appointment refused. If you've gone into the recall and set the vaccine to have been appointment refused, you can hit search here and it will return a list for you. And you can also, when these patients load up, you can also make an appointment, edit the patient's chart, mark for a mail merge, print a mail merge, or mark for an SMS and send an SMS. So the recall opportunity section is really, really handy. On a live site, you would have a lot of data here that you would be able to work on. And that concludes this video.